Hey, come see us do live shows January 3rd in Los Angeles, Honolulu after that, Baltimore, Maryland, Atlantic City, Cohoes, New York, and Providence, Rhode Island. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets. So we caught Brian Stelter. I didn't catch, Mays did, caught Brian Stelter lying about lying. That's one of my favorite things. And he's the reliable guy who does reliable sources. So this looks like the usual suspects police lineup for Bullshit Squad. So in 2021, Brian Stelter did a video where he broke down the hoax that FBI assets infiltrated the crowd on January 6th. They were calling that a hoax. So now we have a congressional investigator, Clay Higgins, said that there were well over 200 FBI assets there. The Inspector General's report, which was a whitewash, said there was at least 26. Clay Higgins said that they had FBI assets dressed up as MAGA supporters inside the Capitol before the riot ever started on January 6th. And here's, in 2021, Brian Stelter did a whole video about how that was all BS. That there was no FBI infiltrated or instigating the January 6th riot, which is what it was. It was a psyop. They did the same thing in Brazil a couple years later to Bolsonaro. So then they make it illegal for him to run for president. So fun fact, before 2020 election, Stelter spent an entire show claiming that Hunter Biden laptop was a right-wing conspiracy that was started by the Russians. So that's what Mays tweeted out on December 13th. By the way, what came first, the chicken or the egg man? That's a question I ask myself whenever I see Brian Stelter. So he tweeted that out. And then Brian Stelter comes back because it got a lot of traction, got almost 500,000 views, 6,000 likes. He goes, your before the 2020 election claim is false. So he's not embarrassed that someone's tweeting out a video of him being completely wrong and giving fake news. He tries to point out that there's something else that someone else got wrong, which he didn't. He's saying he never said that the Hunter Biden laptop was right-wing conspiracy that was started by the Russians. That's what he's trying to claim. By the way, you can't see it, but he got completely ratioed on this. I mean, Brian Stelter. Almost 2,000 replies to 300 likes. Who are those 300 people? Those are the 300 people left watching CNN. So that's... I mean, why would Brian Stelter start telling the truth now? Right? He has to lie for the man because he's saving up for hair transplants. And believe me, that's not going to be a cheap operation. I'm also saving up for hair transplants. I'm getting them. So Brian Stelter, he's like is it called reliable sources because he's lying yet again? It's like he's re-lying after he lied earlier. Is that what this is? Because that's what that is. So there's a whole video of him lying, and then he comes up to lie that said he didn't lie. He didn't say this. So Mays comes back and says, I said that Brian Stelter claimed that Hunter Biden laptop was right-wing propaganda from Russia before the 2020 election. He says I'm lying. Watch this video from October 2020, and you decide. So let's watch it. You ready?
Yeah.
It's about emails again. This time, emails from Joe Biden's son, Hunter. So let's take a look at how a storyline is manufactured. In this case, a loudly anti-Biden storyline, redounding to Trump's benefit. First, it helps to really view this as storytelling, not so much as news coverage, but as political entertainment, where crushing the other party is entertaining.
So everything he's saying right now is describing what he's doing. This is called projection. And ironically, you could use his head to project it onto. But the point is, come on. So if you listen to everything Brian Stelter is saying, he's actually describing what he's doing. He's making up a story. No facts involved to try to smash the other party. That's what he's doing. Watch. It's great. Watch.
It's about emails again. This time, emails from Joe Biden's son, Hunter. So let's take a look at how a storyline is manufactured. In this case, a loudly anti-Biden storyline, redounding to Trump's benefit. First, it helps to really view this as storytelling, not so much as news coverage, but as political entertainment, where crushing the other party is entertaining. Fox News, the beating red heart of the right-wing media machine, molds reality into a serialized TV drama. That's how Vox recently put it. Think Lost or 24. Think Game of Thrones or Breaking Bad. Think Westworld or The Wire. Every day, every night, there are what appear to be new developments in this entertainment drama, some new twist to keep you watching. A new storyline was introduced right on time. There it is, the New York Post front page announcing Biden secret emails, more shadiness involving Hunter Biden. As political entertainment goes, this is not a brand new TV show. It's just a new season of the show. Hunter Biden's business dealings in Ukraine were a key part of the plot last season in the impeachment of President Trump. Hunter has already apologized. Well, he's already admitted to poor judgment and swampy behavior. His father has said,
what? Swampy behavior. Swampy behavior, Brian? Like he's running a still in the bayou while sticking it to his cousin? You mean that kind of swampy behavior? Now I'm convinced that Hunter Biden's laptop must have video of Brian Stelter and Hunter in a bathtub playing submarine, if you know what I'm talking about. Swampy behavior.
That it will not happen again. And at this point, most people have moved on. But Trump needs a closing argument. So he and his media allies usually rely on whataboutism, right? So you ask about the Trump family's swampiness, and they say, what about Hunter Biden? You raise Trump's legal exposure, and they say, what about Obamagate? You might say, or liberal critics say, Trump is compromised, and they say, no, Biden's compromised. Whataboutism is like a glue that holds the base together. It also supplies hours and hours of TV drama. So stay mad and stay tuned. That's what it's really about.
This is exactly what he's doing. He's describing what he's doing. This is the most amazing case of projection I've ever seen. This is amazing.
Let's get back to the new season's storyline. Let's break down how this all happened. Because it was launched, as I showed you, by the New York Post, and then promoted by another Murdoch media property. That, of course, is Fox News. You worry about Trump's corruption, and Fox says, what about Biden? Every hour of the day. So Fox is a producer of this serialized drama, but there are...
Look at the crawl, how the newest anti-Biden narrative was manufactured. Was it manufactured? The laptop was real. Okay, here we go.
Questions about who might have created this show. And that's what's probably most important here. CNN reported on Friday that U.S. authorities are seeing if those emails we just talked about are connected to an ongoing Russian disinformation effort. Now, we already know some of the American producers of this drama because the New York Post says it was tipped off to the existence of the emails by Steve Bannon. Steve Bannon. Then Rudy Giuliani gave the Post a copy of a hard drive containing the emails. Now, here's where it gets even weirder. The Post claimed that the emails were found on a laptop computer that was brought to a repair shop in Delaware in the spring of 2019. And a shop employee saw the emails and then was worried about getting in trouble or getting in danger, and he made copies of them. There's a lot about this story that does not add up.
Okay, it 100% adds up. That's exactly how everything happened. Isn't this amazing? This is the guy.
Yeah.
Reliable Sources is the name of his show. Reliable Sources. I mean, to give him to his credit, it is very. All you got to do is listen to whatever Brian Stelter says, and you know that the exact opposite is true. Just like with this news segment right here. So, I mean, every single time. So, in that regard, he is pretty reliable.
Employee has not helped matters. He has contradicted himself in interviews with reporters. And, I mean, for all we know, these emails are made up, or maybe some are real and others are fakes. We don't know. But we do know that this is a classic example of the right-wing media machine. A tip from Bannon and a hard drive dump from Rudy led a former producer for Sean Hannity's show to write a story for the New York Post that gets splashed on the front page that Rudy then used to trash the Bidens all over Fox, and they're doing it almost every hour of the day. And Trump has been hyping the drama for days on end, and this is how it goes on and on. Now let's
That guy's been rehired by CNN.
Yes.
This guy is now one of the faces of CNN. This guy. This is their news reporting. Everything he just claimed that the right-wing media was doing, he's actually doing in this video clip, creating a story, making it up. And he's still, this year, just the other day, lying about it, saying that this isn't true. Does he not know how video works? Does he think it just it disappears after you're done airing it? It's forever. Eric Stoner says that may be the most extended projection screed I've ever listened to. And that's exactly what it was. Well said. Tomorrow, Brian will announce he's leaving Twitter because it has become toxic. And his BS will get called out. Paraphrasing, of course. May says, we've seen that so many times. Somebody quotes Orwell. He was a fattish man of paralyzing stupidity, a mass of imbecile enthusiasm, one of those completely unquestioning, devoted drudges on whom, more even than on the thought police, the stability of the party depended. Wow. Good catch. Good catch, Panoshak. He was a fattish man of paralyzing stupidity, a massive imbecile enthusiasm, one of those completely unquestioning, devoted drudges on whom, more even than on the thought police, the stability of the party dependent. That's it. That's what Chomsky refers to as manufacturing consent. He's manufacturing consent for the establishment. And the establishment candidate was Joe Biden, not Donald Trump. And the establishment narrative was that Donald Trump was a liar and that the Bidens were good people. Bidens are criminals. Joe Biden's one of the worst politicians as far as the effects of his work. That's why our prisons are overflowing. He's for every war, including Iraq. He's currently trying to start World War III before he gets out of office with Iran and Russia. I wish George Orwell would stop giving these people ideas. You know that they probably built Brian Stelter right after reading that. He literally came back and said that's not true. He said as if this video doesn't exist. He said your before the 2020 election claim is false. And 2 million people saw him lie. And now, whoever watches this video,
It's about
there aren't any bigger liars than the corporate media, except maybe the people in government. Brian, you should try to stare into the skid. You shouldn't try to lie about it. But, it's kind of tough to stare into the skid when the skid is in your pants. Am I right? Come on. So he obviously freaks out that someone's calling him out, and he decides to do more of what got him in trouble in the first place. Lying. He decided to lie more. He's lying about lying. He was lying here, and then he lied that he didn't ever lie. That's what they do. That's what Anderson Cooper does. That's what Fauci does. That's what Brian Stelter does. That's what CNN does, as they air fake news segments all the time, like the one we just showed you in the Syrian prison. Completely hoax. It's amazing. Hey, come see us do live shows January 3rd in Los Angeles, Honolulu after that, Baltimore, Maryland, Atlantic City, Cohoes, New York, and Providence, Rhode Island. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets.